Hey everybody, Zach here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum and just how high these two could go by 2025. Before we get into that, I'd like to just do some chart analysis and take a look at both Bitcoin and Ethereum in the year-to-year charts. So for Bitcoin, right now at $37,694, but we take a look at the overall percentage gain this year, even after the massive crash. Of course, we were as high as 64,000 before it came tumbling down, but still, even with that, we're at a 333% gain on Bitcoin in 2021. Of course, we saw it really rise in 2020, as you could see from this year-to-year chart. Now, the interesting thing is, and I think a lot of people are understanding this now, but maybe not so much a few months ago, if we take a look at the Ethereum year-to-year chart, we'll see that they have had a 1,209% increase in the past year, currently trading $2,575 even, and just parabolic movement since the first of the year. So we take a look. Here we go, December 30th. Let's look at January 1st. So if you would have jumped in, New Year's resolution, I'm going to jump into Ethereum at $730.97 and bought yourself one ETH. Well, you would have rode the wave all the way up to around 4,300 at the peak, currently at 2,575, which is still some really nice gains. Of course, Ethereum has been the talk of the town for the last few months. I think a lot of people have caught on to that, but maybe not so much back in February. A lot of people were still talking Bitcoin and Bitcoin only, but these two are two dominant players. And later on in the video, we'll take a look at the market cap dominance, which we like to look at as it relates to Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Of course, a lot of that is taken up by Ethereum, right? So this is just a nice outlook to look at to start the video, and we'll take a look at that dominance real quick with BTC and ETH. Right now, BTC 43.8% dominance, ETH 18.4%. Currently, there you go on coin market cap, Bitcoin up over 38,000 here. Both down slightly today in terms of the entire market. Everything is pretty much marginally down or marginally up. You'll see Polkadot still down a little bit today, Internet Computer as well, Chainlink, but everything that's down, it's 2%, it's 5%, and it's fluctuating. It'll go from green to red quite a bit today. So not a lot of price action, pretty stable, especially for the crypto space, because we know how volatile it can be on a day-to-day basis. Ethereum Classic seeing some nice movement over the last couple of days in the top 20 here in market cap. So how about the overall outlook? And before we get in there, if you're finding some value here, you're liking what you see and hear, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. So let's take a look at Bitcoin here. So of course, there's a lot of different financial experts out there with various opinions, right? And I like to get a swath of those, right? And try to make sense of things from the expert opinions, right? So Finder actually surveyed 35 financial experts to answer this question. You know, what is the long-term outlook of Bitcoin and Ethereum? And I thought this was interesting. They took an average of what these panelists said. So again, 35 panelists. And the virtual consensus is it looks like it's going to be another solid year on the whole. Of course, already up 333% is Bitcoin. The panelists believe that Bitcoin will end the year in 2021, that is, at 94,967. So if that potentially is the case, that would blow past our all-time high, which currently sits at the 64,000 mark, okay? This is according to the latest edition of the Finder's Cryptocurrency Prediction Report. Now, this is a far cry from the average of 51,000, which the panel forecasted for Bitcoin at the end of 2021 back in December 2020. Now, they make updates to this as the year progressed. So now they believe that, yes, in the short term, it might take another dip, but by December 2021, we could be looking at a 90,000 plus Bitcoin price. And that'll be really something to watch if that ends up happening. Now, you might ask, what about 2025, right? Where are we going to be at for those long-term holders? Somebody who wants to hang on to this for at least, you know, the next 4 to 5 years. Well, we scroll down here and we'll take a look at some of those projections. Looking forward down the road, the panel believes that Bitcoin will end 2025 with an average price of $360,000 just over a third, that means 35% of respondents say that BTC will end 2025 with a valuation of, no, that's not a typo, $500,000 or more, and about 1 in 7, so roughly 15%, say the price will reach $1 million. So that means today, if you got into Bitcoin at the current price of $38,000, you could be looking at $1 million by 2025 if these panelists, who a lot are bullish in this particular article, end up being right. Now let's take a look at Ethereum. We'll scroll down and take a look at some of the long-term futures as well as what's down the road for ETH. And they talk about the rise of NFTs in this article too, which eventually I'm going to do an entire video about NFTs and what they are and why I'm pretty bullish about their future, why NFTs are linked to Ethereum, and what that means for Ethereum going forward. So we'll get into that in another video. But in terms of ETH, the panel is very similarly bullish on Ethereum with almost 3/5, call it 60%, recommending that you consider buying ETH a little over a quarter, recommending that we should buy ETH, that is. A little over a quarter, 28% say hold, and just 13% say that you should consider selling. While the year-end highs for ETH aren't predicted to be as lofty as BTC, with the panel predicting that ETH will finish the year at about $4,500, which would be slightly over our high mark, which currently sits at just over $4,300. And now almost 3/4, 72% think that ETH will hit 5 figures though by 2025. So that's a minimum of what? $10,000 by 2025. Now, there is one particular person, the chief operating officer for BitBull Capital. She has the most bullish outlook on ETH, saying that by 2025, we could be looking at $100,000 per ETH, thanks in parts to the upgrade to the network, which of course is Ethereum 2.0. I'll be coming out with a video this Saturday talking all about Ethereum 2.0, why I've already upgraded all of my ETH that I own into Ethereum 2.0, what all that means that I'm staking now on Coinbase, and we're going to talk about the risks and the rewards of that because there are two sides of that coin, and we'll talk about that on Saturday. Make sure you check out the channel. That'll be live around 12:30 on Saturday. So we are likely to see major upgrades to the Ethereum network this year, and those can be expected to push the price higher. This is coming from Sarah Bergstrand, who has this really bullish outlook on ETH. In the long term, only coins with strong communities and proven use cases are likely to retain value and remain relevant. And if you agree with that statement, then you would definitely be more bullish on Ethereum opposed to that of Bitcoin. Others have only good to keep in the short term during a bull run. So let me know what you think about this, of course, in the comments below. Where are your price predictions for both BTC and Ethereum? Which one of the major two assets are you the most bullish on? I'd be interested to know. Let's take a look at one more article here that I came across today. Is the crypto crash a blip or start of the trend? Of course, we were up at 64,000 with ETH a couple weeks ago, now below 40,000. And I put out a poll actually on YouTube. Make sure you go check that out. Will Bitcoin go back down to 30,000 before it hits 50,000? What do you think? What happens first? Do we see a dip down to 30, or will we see a rise back up to 50 first? I think that's an interesting question, and it sparked some interest already. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't seen that yet. So they get into Dogecoin a little bit, the rise and fall of Doge and kind of the meme coins and how that kind of all transpired early on in the year, which led a lot of people to Ethereum as well. And then they start getting into where are they now? And this is really where I want to focus in on with this article. So it says here, with little to no one holding on to Dogecoin as a long-term investment and Bitcoin and Ethereum crashing hard, many are expecting a repeat of 2018. And if you're not familiar with what happened in 2018, both Bitcoin and Ethereum crashed. The entire market crashed, right? Once Bitcoin reached its high around 20,000 in December, the cryptocurrency fell all the way back down to 8,000 by February 2018, eventually around 3,500 by the end of the year. Ethereum also experienced a similar fate, falling from $1,400 in January 2018 to $130 by year end. Imagine if you would have jumped into Ethereum for $130 back in 2018. Even just before the pandemic hit, Bitcoin only reached half of its all-time high, trading around 10,000. Ethereum couldn't even surpass 300. I remember looking personally at Ethereum at 600, 700, thinking of buying in, but wasn't quite sure yet. Still wanted to learn about it. Wish I would have, but I ended up getting in around 1100, and I'm still happy with that because I plan on holding Ethereum until 2030 at the minimum. Both of these cryptocurrencies have experienced a surge in price since the coronavirus, but many have been awaiting an eventual crash. Bitcoin traded mostly flat from February to May, while Ethereum doubled in value. So there was a long period there where Bitcoin was really trading sideways. Ethereum was parabolic. So a lot of people perhaps were moving a lot of their Bitcoin over into Ethereum, maybe diversifying their portfolio a little bit as they learned more and more about the Ethereum network and where it plans to go with Ethereum 2.0. So again, if you found some value in this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And I appreciate you stopping by the channel once again, and I'll see you in the next one.